Welcome, everybody. Good morning. We are here in Warfield, Kentucky. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy here on the D&D Sports Network Startup Morning Show. JJ, we got a great show lined up today. I am stoked. But first of all, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. What about yourself?
I am doing fantastic because as soon as I leave here, as soon as the show's over, I'm getting in the car and I'm headed on vacation.
You're headed on vacation, and where are you headed to?
We're going to go to Pigeon Forge this summer.
Oh, wow. Pigeon Forge seems nice. I mean,
Yeah.
most people during the 4th of July weekend, they always go to the beach. So to finally run into somebody that's going somewhere different, I mean, it's refreshing.
Well, I've never took my family to Pigeon Forge on vacation. Now, we've been numerous weekends. My son plays AAU, and they always play at the Rocky Top in Gatlinburg. And so we go down there for that, and then he goes down for his team balls, went down a couple Christmas tournaments, Prestonsburg, where you can see rocking the Prestonsburg Black Cat gear today. Still got love for Prestonsburg. We still Prestonsburg at heart, and still care about them kids there. But when we went up there last Christmas, we stayed in Pigeon Forge. But when you go there for the weekend, you really don't have a chance to partake in everything going on there. And as a kid, my mom and dad always took us on 2 vacations a year. They took us to Pigeon Forge, and then they took us to Myrtle Beach.
Oh, wow.
All right. And, since I've been an adult, been doing an adult life thing, we always, 90% of the time we go to the beach. Well, I think every time we've went to the beach. We go to Myrtle Beach just about every year. And then we've been to Orlando, been to Cincinnati, to Kings Island. But this is a new venture, and there's a couple things there at Pigeon Forge. By the way, guys, in the comment section, if there's anything that you guys say that I have to do while at Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg, put it in the comment section. I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. But I think, I don't know. I think that I may, the 2 things on my bucket list that I want to do is the Hatfield and McCoy feud. They got like a dinner. And they do like the Hatfield McCoy feud, I guess, something like that. And then I want to go to the Comedy Barn. And then there's a Alcatraz museum that I would love to go to. Yeah. And then I wouldn't mind seeing the Titanic museum.
Yeah, the Alcatraz museum is something I've always wanted to go to as well. So whenever you go there, be sure to let me know what are some of the more notable things that you see there.
By the way, guys, this segment is sponsored by Bruce Walters Ford. Bruce Walters Ford, located in Pikeville and in Coal Run. Ford, Lincoln, Kia. Anything, whether it's new, used, pre-owned vehicles, they'll get you financed and out the door with your dream vehicle today. So Bruce Walters Ford, proud sponsor of today's first segment. Now, coming up on the show, we got Thomas the Maestro Rainey. Thomas is one of the co-owners of D&D Sports Network with myself and David. So we'll have Thomas on. We're going to talk a little sports landscape and talk about future of D&D and stuff like that. And, but what I'm excited to talk about is 4th of July. Yesterday, I told you it would end up raining on the 4th of July.
Oh, it was nasty in West Virginia.
Oh, it
was brutal.
It got horrible here. It rained for probably 4 or 5 hours, but thank goodness that it stopped about 6, 7 o'clock. And I think they're at Prestonsburg at Star City. They still got their fireworks and their festival off, without a hitch.
That's pretty much how it was for us. Like, it rained, it's what seemed like all day. And then once it hit about 7:30, 8 o'clock, it finally slowed down, then it finally stopped, and then, everybody let off the fireworks, and it ended up being a good night at the end.
Well, it's a shame that it rained on the 4th instead of on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Because we could have used that rain on the 3rd, because over at the Belfry Fire Department, they had a little mishap, JJ.
What happened?
They let the fireworks off, and some of the fireworks come down, hit the hillside, and caught it on fire.
Really?
Yeah.
And didn't you mention in one of the previous shows?
I said I told you it hadn't been raining, and I told you a couple shows before that. I said I really hope it rains one of these first couple days. I said, because with fireworks going off, I said there'll be some forest fires. I said, because the people going and hitting in the woods, and it's so dry. We got pictures from over there. Here they are. This is straight across from Walmart.
Is that a forest fire, or is that?
No, that's the fireworks lit the hillside.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. So there's a better picture of it. But yeah, this is straight across from Walmart. So you're looking at the hill. It's in an angle across from Advanced, right there by Tudor's Biscuit World.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a big fire, and as you see it right there up close. But I mean, that's why I was hoping that it rained before then, because it was really dry. It hadn't rained. I think we had sprinkles, maybe 5 days before, but it rained yesterday to make up for it though. And but the fireworks was over with, and but Belford Fire Department, that's the first time I've ever seen that happen. I've been watching fireworks there for probably 40 years, I'd say, probably 42. Probably when I was first born, my family took me there, and but first time I'd ever seen that.
That was always the thing to do whenever I was a kid too. Like, we would get there at maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yep.
And at the South Side Mall, they used to always have music. It was always bluegrass music, but it was still music, and it just seemed like it was a really good spot for everybody to get together. And then at the end of the night, you would have the fireworks show. And is it still like that today? Is it still
No, they just do fireworks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They used to do like wrestling events for the Arby's.
They still do stuff like that in Co-Run, but they don't do it in Whipson anymore. So,
it's just not what it used to be.
Now, credit all these fire departments though for putting these fireworks on. I know it takes a lot of work. We watch Kermit's. We're in Martin County now, so we're Martin Countyans. So we had to watch Kermit fireworks. They done a tremendous job. Kermit Fire Department loved the fireworks there, but going. I don't know. It just I enjoyed yesterday, even though it rained. The day off I needed that refreshing day. But we got Mike Perry tuning in. He's tuning in probably because it's Lawrence County Day on our county trip. So we're going to learn about Lawrence County later today.
I'm really excited.
But what I was going to ask you about is, did you cook out anywhere yesterday?
No, I actually didn't cook out.
No cookouts?
No cookouts yesterday.
Well, we ended up, we didn't cook out, but we partaked in some 4th of July food. We rarely eat hot dogs here,
right?
But we ate some hot dog, and we ate some chili. Now, I got a question for you. Do you call it hot dog chili or hot dog sauce?
Chili.
Yeah.
Okay. Who does that?
But believe it or not, JJ, there is a large portion of the world. You get out of Kentucky, it's hot dog sauce. You didn't know that?
Never heard of that.
Never heard of that.
When I think of sauce, I think of ketchup and mustard.
Well, let's throw this up. In West Virginia, here's a little look. West Virginia, hot dog chili. These are the where it's the red or the blue is chili. Let me make sure it's right there. Blue is chili, and so there's a portion of Mingo County that calls it hot dog sauce.
I've never met anybody from Mingo County that.
I've heard people call it hot dog sauce. Wow. Yeah, like if you go somewhere out of state, if you go to Ohio or something like that, and you ask them, say, "What do you want on your hot dog?" They'll say, "Do you want any sauce on your hot dog?" Well, no, just chili. So you want sauce? No, just chili. And I mean, I've had that come up 2 or 3 times where I've had to, have a semi argument with the people, because them not understanding what I wanted on my hot dog.
The sauce is more of a liquid.
Yeah, well, that's the way I see it.
And then chili, you have to take hamburger meat to make it, and then you have to put like other ingredients in it too.
I always see a sauce as something that's in a bottle. Sauces are bottled. So I don't see how in the world that they call that sauce. I've never in my life, figured that out, but there is a large portion. Let us know in the comment section if any of you folks at home actually call that sauce or if it's chili, because I know in the mountains, I would like to see how many counties in Kentucky call it, because I know out west, a lot of them call it sauce.
I feel like it would be some of them uppity places that's borderline city that would call it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm trying to think. In Lexington, I think I've heard it called both ways in Lexington, but I want to hear the folks at home. Mike Perry, is it chili or sauce? But JJ, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got a lot to talk about. including we're going to talk about some of the fan voting. We're going to talk about the ESPN Top 100. We got a few guards we got a few players in the semi coverage area of the D&D Sports Network in the ESPN Top 100 this year.
Really?
Yep. So the we only got one in our core coverage area, but on the outskirts of our coverage area, we got two more. So we're going to learn about that when we come back, and then we're also, JJ, we're going to learn something really bothered me yesterday about a school in our coverage area, something that happened. And we're going to talk about that as soon as we come back. You're watching the D&D Sports Network Morning Startup Show with JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy.
Started right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today. And we always will be, for generations to come.
Pass, bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Virgie, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones. Oceana Discount Tobacco today. Nobody can beat Oceana Discount Tobacco's great prices or their great services. You're treated like family from the second you walk through the door. We want to thank Oceana Discount Tobacco for sponsoring today's events. Go follow them on Facebook. We're back here on the D&D Sports Network Startup Morning Show with JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy here in Warfield, Kentucky, JJ. And believe it or not, I've not been outside yet. I come straight down to the studio. What's the weather like?
About 61, 62. But
there's no way it's chilly out there.
I mean, well, okay, maybe 65. I mean, it felt. I think it's where it's shady and just the spot that we're at. But when you get out in the open road, it's probably about close to 70.
Okay,
yeah,
there we go.
Right where you're parked, it felt good.
Okay, there we
really
go.
Good, yeah.
So as we're going to get started, JJ, this is a little learning day for JJ. So you guys are definitely going to want to stick around because JJ is going to produce the show, or try to produce the show, try to mother the ship here in the next couple segments. Up next we'll have Thomas Rainey, and then we'll have Dina Gerald. I am stoked for the interview with Dina Gerald later today. But
I'm really excited as well.
But the JJ, I'm gonna be on vacation, so JJ's got to run this ship. JJ, do you think he can do it?
Challenge accepted.
Well, we're going to see. Yeah, really. And as the folks at home know, I have about this much patience.
Yeah.
So the pressure's on.
Hey, I'm ready.
So as we're getting started here, JJ, I'm gonna throw this up. This right here really bothered me.
Okay.
All right. What do you see here?
I mean, I see an area that looks familiar, but I see a lot of.
It ain't gonna be familiar to you.
Okay.
This is Buckhorn Middle School.
Okay.
All right, in Perry County. Now. That was all a playground area.
Really?
They had the entire area had playground equipment on it.
Oh, wow.
Now Perry County, I can't remember if it was the Buckhorn School or if it was Perry County school system, what it was, put a post out that said, the principal is looking for who come and stole the playground equipment.
Somebody stole the.
Well, that's what they thought. But come to find out, the principal put out a thing that somebody stole it and was looking for tips on who stole it.
Uh-huh.
But the city went under them and auctioned off to the highest bidder the playground equipment. So there's some lack of communication here, JJ.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, and what are they going to use the money for? Are they going to get better equipment or what? I mean,
JJ, but my thing, I don't care about that. My thing is the lack of communication between the city and the school. How in the world do you not tell the principal of a school, hey, I'm selling your playground equipment?
Did they at least put an article out there or something, or leave a voicemail that they may not have got? Did they even have an excuse?
I don't know. I seen we put the post out, and then later there was an update that said, we found out that it was sold to the highest bidder. And I think the county, I do think the county is going to buy them. Now that's the light side of the story. I think the county is going to buy them some new equipment. But, just the lack of communication between the city and the school. How in the world does a principal not know that their playground equipment is getting sold?
Just wakes up one day and goes to school and is like, wait, whoa, where are the kids going to play?
Yeah.
Where are the kids going to play today?
Yeah, exactly.
Something's missing here.
Yeah. So I am stoked to find out why in the world or how that happened, because I have no idea, JJ, how in the world.
I thought you were going to tell me some sort of story that somebody stole it and tried to sell it for scrap metal.
No. Well, that's what because we shared it for them.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought had happened. I was like, so I mean, today you never know. I mean, how people's on drugs and stuff, and they're still on Cadillac converters and all that. And I was like,
kids to play.
I was like, listen, somewhere there's there's an old barn or a trailer, and it's going to have their kids are going to have the best playground equipment in the world in their backyard,
and they're going to repaint it.
Yeah. So but that's very interesting that happened. I don't know how that can happen. But I tell you something else that interested me. Caitlin Clark led the All-Star voting, 700 votes.
700,000, yeah.
700,000 votes. Her teammate was second in running with 618,000. Now you tell me the Caitlin Clark effect. I mean, and then you go down here and look at the bottom.
There's a name missing.
Yeah, I'm going to take it off here. Yeah, because we need to know this is a very notable name. Okay. Angel Reese. So Caitlin Clark doubled Angel Reese's votes. But go ahead.
But wait a minute. Isn't she the one that's supposed to be bringing eyes to the league? Isn't she the one that's supposed to be just as important as the person getting the most votes?
That's what she said.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, listen, numbers don't lie. Yeah. At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark, you've seen the value. And listen, Angel Reese, I think she stuck her foot in her mouth. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, she is going to make paychecks go up in the WNBA, and these girls should be happy that Caitlin Clark is doing this. As you sit here, when I myself, I think these girls are forever indebted to Caitlin Clark because of what she's going to do for not only the sport, the game. We've already seen it, with the OPB swish that we're covering, the effect that it's had. I mean, we see it in high school basketball. Girls that normally won't play are coming back out to play.
Absolutely. And a lot of them should be thankful that they don't have to be that person, because she's the one that's taking the butt whippings. She's the one that's getting trashed in the media by everybody and getting hated on by all the other players. While all these other individuals can quietly get their pay raises without having to worry about somebody saying something negative about them. Well,
we see Mike Perry says he calls it chilly. We got Kate Burns says, wow, lovely chilling. So I guess she's talking about chili too. So guys, let us know, chili or sauce. We're going to be doing that all show long. Chili or sauce. Now, JJ, I got a question.
Okay.
Has there been a pothole in your life that has affected you or a family member in a negative way?
There's been a couple.
Okay.
And I don't, and to this day, it's still, it sticks with me.
Well,
it's almost like a form of PTSD that you get whenever you hit one of those holes.
Yeah. Listen, sometimes if it's big enough, you'll hit that pothole and it'll come out of gear.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're here to fix this on the D&D Sports Network Startup Morning Show. We got a pothole that is giving a lot of people some issue over in Logan. Yes, so let's bring some attention to this. This is our pothole of the day, JJ. As you sit here, pothole of the day brought to you by Bruce Walters Ford. This pothole, this one affected you. Mm-hmm. Now you hit this baby You tell me where this is at, and that way that we can try to figure out how to fix this.
This is located at the Dollar Tree in Logan. It's that I'm not exactly sure what the name of that parking lot is, but the place where Walmart is and
is that Fountain Place?
Yeah, Fountain
Place. Fountain Place Plaza.
Yeah, it's right there next to, I believe, a shoe show.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's my car hit it, and I thought my tire was going to fall off, and I even thought I was going to sustain an injury from, the whiplash that I received. And
well, we got over 50,000 followers. Mm-hmm. Somebody is going to know the people to fix this. So we're going to get this pothole fixed. And listen, if it's not fixed in 3 months' time, JJ has took and said he will personally go fill this pothole with gravel, and we're going to video it. So we're going to have potholes, a few days a week. The potholes that affect our lives, yes. or we're going to ask people around to send pictures in of potholes that negatively affect you or a family member's lives, because we got to get these potholes. Listen, the war on coal took the coal money out of Eastern Kentucky. Mm-hmm. So the roads ain't what they used to be. But there's still some funding in there. We got to get these babies fixed because way too many cars are being affected by these potholes.
We may not have that much money, but Jesus Christ, I mean, my whole car could have sunken in there. I mean, I have a little tiny Nissan, and I may not have been able to get out of that pot.
JJ, as you've seen, we've seen a few potholes that nearly took us out, in the past couple of weeks. So we're going to bring awareness to them and try to fix them babies. Fountain Place Plaza, you're the first ones on our radar. So JJ, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have a very special man. We're going to have the man behind the magic, the man with all these intros and all that. Mm-hmm. You're going to meet him here in a minute.
I'm really excited too.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Be right back on the D&D Sports Network Startup Morning Show with JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy. Drug today and let them fill your prescription. Eric Holman Drug has been serving the Chapmanville community for over 46 years. They're a proud supporter of the Chapmanville Tigers and all mountain athletes.
D&D Auto Sales. Right now, guaranteed credit approval. No credit, bad credit, good credit, it don't matter. Guaranteed credit approval 100% right now at J&B Auto Sales. Stop by and see them today in DeBoer, Kentucky. Crum Funeral Home in DeBoer, Kentucky is committed in giving the highest quality funeral services for a fair and reasonable price. If you don't want to have to deal with heavy financial obligations during your grieving process, come see us at Crum Funeral Home. Our staff is ready to serve you.
And we are back with the Startup Show. I'm your host, JJ Pruitt, and Darryl McCoy as well. And I'm actually the producer now. This is day one of training day, and I've got Thomas Rainey with us. Thomas, it's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Hey, JJ, I'm excited. How are you guys?
I'm doing great. Can you tell me a little bit about you, since this is my first time meeting you?
I joined with Darryl and David probably, I don't know, it's been 3 or 4 years now. Just have a passion for sports and just love promoting the youth of Eastern Kentucky. So Eastern Kentucky, Southwest Virginia. So I'm excited. Like Darryl said, I'm the guy behind the scenes. I do a lot of the, the schedules, trying to get people in the right place at the right time. So that's what I worked on last night. We're already started on football. So should be a huge schedule.
I'm really excited. So you're the guy that pretty much flies under the radar.
Yeah. Every now and then they jokingly let me out of the house and do a game every now and then. But most of the time, I do the like I said, all the behind the scenes stuff, and that's fine because I enjoy doing that.
Well, you seen JJ, you seen the awesome intro that we got. The maestro, he learned to do that a couple. I guess it's probably about 6-7 months ago. It was back during the region tournament. Well, no, actually before that, before basketball season, and he has added so much thanks to them intros. But Thomas, just wanted to bring you on here because this is the newest show, and as just said, you're the one that puts everything together here. JJ, he's never met you, and he said that he wanted to talk to you and ask you about the direction of D&D and what your hopes for the future are.
Well, I mean, last year, we grew so much. I mean, Darryl, I don't have to tell you, but the fans at home, we went from 2 or 3 crews up to, I think we got enough equipment now to have 6 crews on at one time. So, I mean, it was huge. And don't get me wrong, we had a lot of bumps along the way, training new people on how to work on the equipment and how to produce and kind of living up to what we expect. This morning I worked on the intro there. I just loaded it up in our preview site for you to look at for the On Point Baller Swish.
Oh,
so they'll have their own intro. So for their games, so that's the stuff I like to do. And like I said, it's all about helping these kids. It's so cool when you get on there and you see those messages from coaches asking about this player and that player, and we're able to push them to the game they need to watch. Hey, check this kid out or check that kid out. It's just so cool.
Yeah, the interesting thing, like I said, that we do here, it's tough because there's so many people and the stories that we hear. The thing that affects me the most is when you hear these older people that can't get out of their hollers, these grandma and grandpas, or these people from different states that's able to watch mountain basketball, and whether they got family members playing or whether they're just an alum of that school or they're looking at certain players, and it's pretty neat. That's what we was talking about with Carla Booth. Is she said, after watching the WABA, I said, I hope our production holds up to the rest of them. And she said that from what she's seen, that they think that D&D is going to blow them out of the water. Said there's nobody that does production like D&D, and a lot of that was thanks to the maestro, because when he come on board, we was still doing cell phones.
Absolutely.
Well, we're pumped and excited. We bought some new equipment, and every time I go to buy something, Darryl cringes, I think. But I think that's what we got to do to set ourselves apart. We started doing baseball at a bigger level this year because that center field camera. It's like watching. We had somebody talk during the 15th region tournament. It's like watching the SEC network. When you can zoom in and you can replay to see if that really was a ball or a strike. I'm sure some of the officials sometimes get a little upset. But, no, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, it just adds a whole different level, and I hope people understand, and I don't mean to sound bad, but I hope people understand how much work truly goes into it, because, most of the time, as JJ, you'll find out, we're there an hour and 30 minutes before a big game setting up, running cables and running wires and checking sound. And it's just a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too. And when you see it all come together, that's the difference.
Absolutely. And, that's like me. I was here an hour and a half early, and I'll tell you what, he was livid whenever I showed up. I said, look, man, it's my first day of producing, so I want to make sure that, I know all of the little details, at least well enough to where, I could hold things down while he's on this end. And, there's a lot of little things that you guys do that stand out to me. Like, for example, he showed me yesterday, you guys, when you host your baseball games, like you have the drone that has the video clip of each baseball field, just little things like that really, make your stuff even better.
Yeah, that was something that we had outsourced. Was where we went and done all the drone footage of all the fields that you can find on our YouTube channel. But that was one thing. Yeah, Thomas, JJ today showed up bright and early, and I told him, I said, don't ever come before 7 o'clock.
Morning person.
No, not at all. And I used to be, believe it or not, but anymore, I'm up till 1:30, 2 o'clock doing show prep for this show, and then I said I will not. I said I got to get that last minute, JJ. But I love the initiative at JJ showing, and he was ready to go, and I think JJ is going to be a huge asset for us, Thomas.
Well, I do too, and yeah, I want to give a shout out to Carl Little. He says I'm the best at interviewing young players. I appreciate that, but again, I think that's another thing that sets D&D apart.
Mhm.
You watch and we see it. We'll go to gyms and see people, all these media outlets, but they're packed up and gone. We're still there talking to the players because that's what it's about. It's not about making a dollar and running out the door, in my opinion. It's about getting these kids in front of the camera, and that's another thing college coaches look at. College recruiters, they want to see how they do when they're to ask a tough question. So, and I'm excited about this morning show. My goodness, we talked about it, Darryl, for a year.
Yeah.
We never was quite sure how to do it and how to go about doing it. And now, JJ, with you, I watch almost every morning, and I'm pumped. I'm pumped. So I think this is going to be another thing, and it's great because you're getting to see even more interviews with coaches and players.
Yeah, and when it's all said and done, if this show's done right, it could be the one that drives the ship. And Brianna Deskin says Thomas Rainey is the nicest guy in the world. Said he's funny too. Easy, Brianna. He's got a wife. That said he's changed the game. I'm a witness of the cell phone era. So and that's just asking. If somebody was to ask you, what's the favorite event that y'all do at D&D? What's your favorite thing that you've done in the D since you've been here?
Wow, that's tough. I love the showcase weekend. I think that's one of the big ones. I do like that. But if you had to tell me pick what is your best production, I think it's the way we do the 15th region baseball. That shocked you because there is so many different camera angles and so much different footage. Now I love my basketball. Don't get me wrong. I'm a basketball guy. Baseball is so much harder to cover, but I think we do baseball better than anybody. That's my honest opinion.
It's not even close. People ask me all the time. My favorite is the 15th region tournament.
I agree with that.
When we got the camera people on the floor, to do it, because sometimes we have to split that up with West Virginia. But it's I think baseball, and that was the biggest compliment I think we've ever got, is one of our big time sponsors told us that they watched a baseball game and said it's not even close. You guys do baseball better than anybody besides the SEC Sports Network. Said that SEC Network is the only ones that gives them angles and that quality of a production on baseball and softball.
Yeah, and I think that's what's making us different right now. We always are looking for something new. I've got a couple more things long term I want to work on. I want a production truck. That's the next thing. I think if we could pull a trailer in and have all that stuff set up, man, if we had an hour and a half extra to prep instead of having to run cables everywhere. And, we got to give our shout out, to some of our big sponsors that make that possible, Yeah. They're the reason we're able to do this stuff,
Everything that D&D does, every dime that comes in is through sponsorship. So if it's the businesses that make this happen, and if your school, you want better production, better quality, reach out to the local business owners. And Thomas, the other, I really enjoyed. I thought wrestling we done really well.
Yeah.
I would love to do that a little more. It's just tough because it's normally during the season, so we're having a split time, and the only days that we do get remotely off, then you're going and spending 6-7 hours doing a wrestling event, and it makes it really tough. And you got to get sponsors. As you say, dollars make sense, and then the other thing. The thing that I've probably been the most proud of at D&D is covering the Huntington Prep game, getting to cover the number one player in the nation. That's huge.
Well, I agree. And we're looking to do different sports. Historically, in Eastern Kentucky, Southern West Virginia, what is it? It's basketball, football, then baseball, right? Yep. Now we've got volleyball kicking off like you wouldn't believe. That is picking up steam. you know, I don't laugh. I want to do tennis. I think I'm sitting here. I know we would blow tennis out of the water,
Well,
and we're going to do, we are going to do a regional tournament next year in tennis. We've already talked about it, and I'm stoked. I really think that's one we can make a difference. And I like our track and field coverage.
oh yeah, that track and field is it's unbelievable because first of all, track and field's never got coverage, and then to get the quality of coverage that we give them, I mean, track and field, softball, baseball are probably the three sports that we do the best. Now,
I agree with that.
basketball, Thomas, we do so much of basketball, it's hard to get the quality where you want it because we're doing such quantity. If you want to watch a game, you can find it here. And, we got to weigh it out. Does the fans want quality or do they want quantity?
I agree. I agree. And I think that's what makes it tough. But, in putting the schedule together for next year, we're looking at, we're talking to a couple of local colleges about doing some of their stuff. And I'm excited about that. We were blessed last year. We did our first, we did a couple college basketball games at a local college. We did a couple college volleyball games, and that's huge. And I want to do, this year, I want to do a high school wrestling event. We did one last year, but I think we could do so much more with that. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and I guess Darryl gets tired of hearing my crazy ideas. Yeah, every time I say something, he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, we got to have a sponsor for that." But
I honestly love the vision, and that's what I like. The tennis, I love that you're ideal for tennis because I think tennis will be one of the best sports that we do, just the production that we could do for it. And then, the other one that I am dying to do, there's two sports I'm dying to do. One of them, I think we would have to pre-record, and that's bass fishing. But the other one is golf.
Oh, yeah. And me, a golfer, how'd I miss that one? Now, it's always been, well, how do we get power to where we need to be? Now with the assistance and advice from one of our colleagues in Lexington, they gave us some equipment that you gave us some ideas and some leads on some equipment. Now I really think we can kick golf to a new level. And my son played golf in high school, was signed to play collegiately. And, I mean, man, oh man, I know one of the college golf coaches would just go crazy if we was out there streaming some of their events because, again, it's all about recognizing student athletes, and those are the ones that kind of don't get the recognition. Now, don't get me wrong, we've got some, and I apologize, don't get me wrong, we've got some great riders. We've got Bradley Dameron, one of the best when it comes to riding, and we've got people out taking photos, and got to give a shout out to the parents, Darryl. They help. I mean, if your kid's not getting promoted on D&D Sports, shame on you.
Yep.
That's what I'll say. Because we get flooded every day with 5 to 10 messages from parents, coaches, ADs, principals, sending us information. I had a principal, that I'm really good friends with. He said, "Hey, I know you all do a lot of middle school football. Here's the middle school football schedule for us."
Yeah, that's what
we don't know.
That's what it's about. And, Thomas, we hear all the time people ask us, they're like, why does this kid keep getting all the coverage? Why is this kid getting this? Well, because their parents or their coaches or that kid is sending us stuff all the time. That's why we will never turn anybody away. If you send something to us, if it's a notable feat, we will write about it or post about it.
Yeah, absolutely. We again, it's all about the recognition. That's the key. And listen, I'm so excited. And like I said, we got a lot of different sports coming up, and really focused. I want to do a volleyball. I want to get back to doing a volleyball game of the week. Where we're covering the best of the best. And I want to get to where we do some more girls middle school action. We didn't do a lot of girls middle school basketball because you're competing with Friday night football and then middle school football and college volleyball. But I think at the same time, I think we can do a lot with it too. So.
Yeah, that's and we've seen the demand is there for middle school girls basketball, because when we do the county tournaments, I mean, you're talking 400 or 500 a game, and that is something that I think that we've slacked on, but it's tough because in Kentucky they play it during the season.
Yeah, they're competing right with football, and I hate to say it, your sponsors and everybody is so focused on football, they forget about girls basketball.
Yeah, and the girls basketball that we do, it's normally because the sponsor reaches out and wants us to do it. I mean, we're guilty for it too. We got the Crunch Time show, which is the biggest football show in the state of Kentucky or West Virginia, and we're having to prepare for that all week long. So, and then you got Friday night. So you got the show and Friday night that you're having to spend the entire week preparing for. It makes it hard to get out to them girls' games.
Well, yeah. And I'm looking at other college events too, because we're going to make a proposal to another college. And I was so thankful to see one sport was talked about was playing games on Wednesday. I was like, yes, because Wednesday nights usually a very light night in high school athletics. So there's a lot of things coming. I just want people to understand and just be patient with us as we continue to grow, because I'm telling you, I think this is going to be a big year for D&D.
Well, and the thing that I'm really looking forward to, as much as I have anything, is the OPB Swish coming to Martin County, because this is the first ever pro women's team coming to the state of Kentucky, playing the WABA, which is the sister league of the ABA. And then you got, names like Michaela Etz, Victoria Dunlap, Carla Booth, Dina Gerald, Kennedy Stacy. You keep going down the line. It's the who's who. And you got national champs in college. You got, former WNBA players. And this is a huge opportunity for Eastern Kentucky to capitalize and to bring something that we could really take pride in and get behind. And I want to make sure that we produce this and do it right.
Yeah, and things that we're excited too. I think it should be a great production. I really do.
Yeah. So JJ, any more questions for Thomas?
What about a cheerleading competition?
Yeah, hey, don't laugh. We tried to pull one off last year and just couldn't. Listen, the thing I want, and here's another one, the bands. Nobody has a band cam besides D&D Sports. We put a camera on certain schools that have outstanding bands, and they love it. Darryl, they're coming up to us after the games, just so excited. I want to do a band competition. We've talked about that. And I'm sure all our competitors are out there writing this stuff down. They'll be doing it. But I think a cheerleading competition, I think a dance competition, I think a band competition.
That brings even more people to your network, like a different audience, because a lot of people don't give a lot of respect to cheerleaders at times.
Listen. My son's girlfriend was a cheerleader. It was a cheerleader, and I never knew. I was that guy. Okay, here comes the cheerleaders. No offense to our cheerleaders out there. The work they put in is insane, and we've got some of the best cheerleading teams. When you're talking about the Tug Valleys, the Pike, wouldn't you like to see? I could go, and I know I'm going to make somebody mad because I'm leaving somebody off. But wouldn't you like to see those top teams go head to head?
Absolutely. Yeah. My cousin was a 2-time state champion with Tug Valley. She won 2 in a row, and my sister, she was state runner-up when she cheered at Mate 1. So, she had me at the cheerleading practices every day. And then on Saturdays, we have to drive to Charleston every single Saturday for her all-star practices. Yeah. So I know exactly how much work they have to put in, and I think that they should get a little more respect from people.
And everybody wants to hear Darryl and Coach Keithley describe a dance routine. We had one fan, and I'll tell this story. He didn't take it the way it was intended. How about that?
Yeah.
He made a post, and let me tell you what, the dancers got on there and just went crazy. They're like, no, this is cool. This is what we want. This is what, this is what they do. And then he sent us a message. Hey, I apologize. I didn't realize, but they love it when we comment but
we're bringing attention to the sport that they spend their entire life working on. These dance girls, I mean, they grow up from the age of 2 and 3. Their parents are putting in them dance classes. And not only that, the parents love it because they are thousands. I mean, you're talking thousands of dollars. These parents are out over a 16, 14, 15, 16-year-old period where, their kids are finally starting to get seen. And other than what we do at halftime, there's no other way that their kids are going to be noted for their accomplishments in dance. I mean, of course, if they go in competitions downstate or something, but around here, the only way for people to know them is through what we do at halftime.
And they get scholarships for cheerleading and dancing as well. So, I mean, that would give more opportunities for these girls to get scholarships if they get that exposure.
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you, this is 100% truth right here. We had a school that was playing, I can't remember if it was Tug Valley or Mingo, Darryl, in the football playoffs. Remember that? A school.
Tug Valley.
No, it was Tug Valley, wasn't it? From northern West Virginia said, hey, we heard what you all do in covering bands. We have one of the best bands in the land. Will you make sure you show us at halftime?
I think it was Tyler Consolidated.
I think that's who it was too. I couldn't remember the name, but I can remember the message. They were like, can you please show our band? And I'm like, absolutely. We'll make sure we get the band on the air. So, you're right. These people put a lot of work, and it's not just football, basketball, and baseball. There's a whole lot of other sports, and we got to bring recognition to them.
Absolutely.
I agree 100%. Now as we're sitting here talking, when you said, I don't know if you had a chance to go over any of the topics earlier in the show, but Thomas, did you see where the Perry County school equipment got took?
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody said the city. I think I seen a post. The city man sold it. I don't understand how they sell something. That was
where's the communication between the city and the school there?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Somebody should have been. Hey, by the way, we sold this.
That you would think so before they put a post on Facebook. Because they was putting asking for anonymous tips, and automatically where people's heads are going. And.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody stole it to sell it to make money for something they shouldn't.
Yeah, and I know you got some input to touch on the Caitlin Clark effect. She led the All-Star votes with 700,000 votes, doubled up Angel Reese. What kind of impact do you think Caitlin Clark will have on the women's game over the next 3 to 4 years?
Wow. When I say stuff, I get myself in trouble. I can see her being, and let me finish my statement. I can see her doing for the women's game what Jordan did for the guys' game. Now, will she ever be to that level? I mean, in my opinion, he's the GOAT. I mean, you can holler LeBron and all that other stuff, but he was the man that just transformed the whole generation of basketball. Let's face it.
Yep.
I think she could do the same thing. Is she going to live up to the hype and be that level? I don't know, but the fan following she got is insane.
It's incredible, and I'm very excited to see, because you're starting to see the girls basketball players that was pulled away because of volleyball. Well, they're coming back, and hopefully they'll split time now and play both. But, Kentucky's women's team gave a huge surge in volleyball. And we're on a downswing right now in girls basketball in the area where, the last 3 to 4 years, some of the best players ain't playing the sport anymore. Well, over the last few months, I've seen them start to come back out, and I think a lot of that is because of Caitlin Clark.
Well, and I jokingly say, JJ, in my real job, we run a program in Iowa, and it's so cool to hear these 18, 19, 20, 24-year-old young men arguing on who's going to get a go to the trip to watch Caitlin Clark when she was at Iowa. Doing what they had to do to get eligible for that trip. So, I saw it firsthand, and I just think it's going to be. I think what she's doing is phenomenal. Don't even get me started about being left off the Olympic team. I mean, that's just the biggest crock I've ever heard. When you go to play on the national level, you want the best team.
Yeah. Yeah, and the U.S. women's team at the end of the day missed a huge opportunity because the whole world would have been watching the women's Olympics. To now, most of them probably won't pay attention unless you're a fan, a hardcore basketball fan. The women's team is going to normally get overlooked. So, you missed a huge opportunity to bring millions of eyes to the American basketball team.
They literally have one job.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Totally agree. I couldn't have said it better. And the whole issue is going to be, and I'm not taking nothing away from those other ladies. Hey, they've paved the way. Before Jordan, look at all the talent there was. But I just think every now and then you come across that player that can take the game to the next level. When did you see a girl pulling up from the logo, Darryl?
Never.
When did you see
with 3 seconds left on the shot clock?
It didn't happen, and now there's a couple, and you can see it now in high school basketball. There's a couple girls that's starting to do that, and we seen Carly Stanley. She was able to do that in middle school. So but I look forward to that. Thomas, I know it's 9:00 and you got to get back to your real job. So we're going to learn about Lawrence County, Thomas, when we come back. So, facts about Lawrence County. And before you go, if there's one fact you want to leave us with that about Lawrence County, what would it be?
Oh, I don't know about a fact. I'm just going to say when you think Lawrence County, you think of the birdhouse there at Louisa.
The castle,
the gas station right there in Louisa. Everybody thinks of the birdhouse,
Yeah. Everybody, I learned quickly, Thomas, that I don't know about you, but as a kid, we always called it the Castle gas station.
Yeah.
But locals, you tell them, say, meet me at the Castle gas station, and they don't know what you're talking about because locals call it the birdhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, there's some interesting facts. I used to be in that industry, in the convenience store industry before moving on, and it is featured in a lot of publications about how unique that building actually is. Yep. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. And they do have a pretty good sports program in Lawrence County. And I'm telling you, I say it, and everybody argues with you. Know where I'm going, Darryl McCoy. I think they got the best boys coach in the 15th region. And Darryl and Coach Keithley starts throwing names out, but JJ, trust me, this guy does more with, and I hate to use the word less, but more with less.
I mean, but if it's the truth, then it's the truth,
Yeah, he just takes players and makes them.
Yeah.
I mean, he takes a good player and makes him a great player. How about that?
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. He does do more with less, but the hardware, that's the only thing he's got to win now. He wins the region title, then, I think he'll definitely be thought of as that, but right now, he's kind of the Rick Pitino, and then you got some John Calipari's in the region too. So
I agree.
But Thomas, we're going to let you go finish the show. I hope you stick around to learn about Lawrence County. We'll have Dana Gerald's on at 9:15, but I hope you have a blessed day, and we will catch up with you later this evening.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Right. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Be right back on the D&D Sports Network Startup Morning Show with JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy.
Incorporated Little Flower Clinic announcing help needed. We're seeking donations of gift cards to help us make a difference for our homeless and at-risk patients. Gift cards will be used for new clothing, new underwear, and personal hygiene items. If you're interested in helping, please contact us. Call Kendra Cole at 606-487-9505, extension 342, or mail your gift cards to Little Flower Clinic, 279 East Main Street, Hazard, Kentucky, 41701.
Walters Kia. By now, you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Oceana Discount Tobacco today. Nobody can beat Oceana Discount Tobacco's great prices or their great services. You're treated like family from the second you walk through the door. We want to thank Oceana Discount Tobacco for sponsoring today's events. Go follow them on Facebook.
We're back here on the D&D Sports Network Startup Morning Show. You got to meet the maestro, Thomas Rainey, JJ.
I was very impressed.
Yeah, by the way, guys, this segment here is sponsored by our good friends at Crace Solid Rock Development. Willie Crace Solid Rock Development will help you reach your dream home today. Make sure you call Crace Solid Rock Development for all your home building needs. Okay, JJ, it's come that point. We're going to learn about Lawrence County. So everybody hit that like and share button. And what I want is during the comment section, I want people, if they got any facts about Lawrence County, I want them to put them in the comment section so we can pass them along, because I'm sure I missed a lot. Brianna Deskin says you're going to like Thomas, JJ. She said the regional basketball and baseball was both very well produced this year.
I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah,
the production is already really well, but if you're saying that baseball is even better,
yeah,
I'm excited to see what you guys have.
And by the way, guys, hit that like and share button. I'm going to do it myself here. And you can also watch this show for folks that's not wanting to watch it on your cell phone. If you're sitting at home and you want to get your morning started right, watch it on YouTube. You can put it on your TV quite easily, or you can watch it on dndsports.com. So let's get to Lawrence County here, JJ. Lawrence County is the 71st county in Kentucky. All right. No, that's Pike County.
Uh-oh.
Now, let me find it right here.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
You got a lot of good facts.
Yeah. Okay. In Lawrence County, population is 16,293. As we see, trying to make sure I read this right. Major highway is US 23 that runs through it, which is, do you know the nickname?
No, I'm not 100%.
Country Music Highway.
Oh, that's where that is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Country Music Highway, US 23. The reason it's named that, JJ, is because US 23 is, and I would have to go through to get all the country stars, but there is probably 14 to 16 notable country stars on US 23 from Pike County all the way up till Lewis County.
Who would you say is the most famous, or is that
most famous?
Yeah, or the most well known.
Well, I'm trying to think. You got Dwight Yoakam, Ricky Skaggs, the Judds, Ashley Judd. She's a movie star too.
Is that Childress kid from Lawrence County as well?
Yeah, well, we're going to get to him.
Okay.
We'll get to him, but he's definitely not the most notable.
Okay.
Patty Loveless. I don't know if Sandy Hook if 23 runs through Sandy Hook, but if so, that's definitely the most notable, which is Keith Whitley. And then if not, it's mighty close. And then Billy Ray Cyrus. So
Really?
he's on there. So with the success of Hannah Montana, Billy Ray Cyrus
come
might
on
be.
now, Achy Breaky Heart, man. That was
It's huge. Yeah.
Town Road.
Listen, Billy Ray Cyrus. I met Billy Ray Cyrus before Billy Ray Cyrus was Billy Ray Cyrus. You know, my mom used to take one of my neighbors.
Uh-huh.
Her name was Vicey, this old lady. And my mom always kind of like took care of her. She would take her to the store and, go help her clean her house and do stuff like that. Well, one time she's like, will you take me to my family's house? And we took her to her family. The family, Arlen was a huge Belfry star, Arlen Lee, Arlen Smith. His son, Arlen Lee, owned a bunch of coal trucks and stuff, and it was somewhere out like Greenup County, maybe Lawrence County, somewhere out through that way. And one day we went up there, took a lady up there to cook out to her families, and the guy called down to his truck garage and said, hey, come up here and get you some food. Told his mechanic, and his mechanic come riding up on a 4-wheeler, and he told him, he said, bring your guitar. And he brought his guitar. He was sitting there playing. Well, come to find out, that was Billy Ray Cyrus before Billy Ray Cyrus was Billy Ray Cyrus.
Wow.
Yeah. So just a little neat story there. The Connor Morganson says, "What's up, Connor? How about that? Connor is the pride of Powell County. Has transferred to GRC. One of the top 2028 kids in the state."
Really?
Yeah, this kid is electric. We had him at the All-Star game. He went off. I mean, this kid before it's over with will be one of the biggest names in the state of Kentucky if he continues to work like he is. Mm-hmm. Connor, let us know, are you playing football at GRC for Coach Cherico too, or are you just going to stick with basketball? But the kid is phenomenal on and off. And I know he's one of the next targets on, I think, the Kevin Moses corner. So you'll see a good article about him coming out soon. So Lawrence County, back to Lawrence County. Lawrence County was founded December 14th, 1821. So December 14th is their birthday, named after Navy officer James Lawrence of the USS Chesapeake. He is known for a famous quote.
What was the quote?
Don't give up the ship. So have you ever heard that? Hold the ship. Don't give up the ship. You've never heard that.
It's a good quote. I
don't think I've ever heard it, well, that's what he was known. That was his dying words. That was his last words, was don't give up the ship.
How cool would it be to have a county named after you?
Yeah. Well, the county is 420 square miles. All right. The county seat is Louisa. The big cities, the cities in Lawrence County are Louisa and Blaine. All right. It is a moist county. And again, I taught you in Pike County. What's a moist county?
County that sells in like a couple of spots, but for the most part is dry.
It's a county that sells beer or alcohol in the cities.
Oh, okay.
But in the county is dry.
Okay.
So it's halfway in between.
Right.
So you got wet, moist, dry. Mm-hmm. So Lawrence County is a moist county. Said Lawrence County was made up of land given to them by Floyd and Greenup County. Now, Floyd County, that's the interesting thing for me. Floyd County must have had a lot of land, JJ, because Floyd County ended up giving, Pike County was made up of Floyd County. Mm-hmm. I think some of Martin County might have been given by Floyd County. And now we find out Lawrence County is given by Floyd. So if Lawrence County is given counties, if they gave the land to help make Floyd, or if Floyd County gave Lawrence County the land to make Lawrence County, that means that Johnson County has to be made up of Floyd County too, because you have to go through Johnson to get to Lawrence.
Could you imagine
Martin?
Could you imagine if they wouldn't have given up all of that land, like how big that place would be?
Oh yeah, that would have been a huge. I would have loved. Pike County is the biggest county there is, but we already give up a lot of stuff. And JJ, we have lost a camera.
Okay.
And so There we go. Hopefully we're back. I don't know what happened there, JJ. So we do apologize for that, guys. But as you're sitting here, I mean, couldn't you imagine how big Floyd County was if they're going to have enough property to make Lawrence County?
So you just correct me if I'm wrong. You said that Lawrence County is 420 miles.
420 miles.
Okay.
Now
giving up land to Lawrence County. And how many other places?
Pike County.
So that's
what we learned.
So you're looking at 1,000, well over 1,000. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah. So, sorry, guys. I had to send Dana her link. Connor Morgan says my decision has not been released to the public yet, but it's looking good for GRC. Oh, there you go. So okay. Connor, I am stoked. I want to see. I hope to goodness that he plays football too. Because be honest, I'm being selfish there because I like Coach Cherico and the coaching staff there, so I want that. But as long as he's playing basketball, that's all I care about. But let's get back to Lawrence County. Lawrence County, the river that runs through there is the Leviza Fork of the Tug River. It empties into the Big Sandy. Now they are known for the bridge. Now, it used to be the only bridge. Now, I've since been in a couple more bridges like that. I think in Florida, I went down and there was a bridge like it, but it has a right turn in the middle of the bridge. So it's the only bridge that I know of. And I think for a long time, it was the only bridge in America that had a red light in the middle of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So basically, it's a bridge. And then the bridge turns right in the middle. So there's an intersection. Okay. So, and it crosses over into West Virginia into Fort Gay. So I know you're not very familiar with it. But how I knew is when I was younger, the first time I ever went to Louisa was because of a psychic. They used to have a psychic down there. He was an old coal miner. And you go down there and he'd tell your fortune. So a lot of people would travel up there. Well, that's when I first found out about that bridge. It was the only one with a right turn or left turn if you're coming from West Virginia, but it's the only one with a red light in the middle of the bridge.
Yeah, I've never seen one.
Well, you'll end up seeing it going covering games. Now, bordering counties, Carter, Boyd, Wayne, Martin, Johnson, Morgan, and Elliott County are the bordering counties. Wayne is West Virginia, Wayne County, West Virginia. All the other ones, I thought it would border another West Virginia county, but I guess not. But so Carter, Boyd, Wayne, Martin, Johnson, Morgan, and Elliott counties are, and it said for us West Virginia people, that bridge turns left. So thanks at Bradley Dameron tuning in, one of our sports writers. I'm gonna have some news for him in a minute after this segment. We'll talk about it here in a second. But then things to do at Lawrence County, Yatesville Lake.
Oh yeah, and
they're also known for the best haunted house in the area.
Really? Mm-hmm. I haven't been to a haunted house in years. I would love to catch a good one.
Well, it's called Fallsburg. Have you ever heard of it?
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of Fallsburg? JJ. Guys, we laugh and talk about it all the time, but you have no idea how sheltered JJ is until you actually get to speak to him and see like what all he don't know about. Like, I mean, he didn't know about the lookout in Pikeville. There was a couple other things that we'll talk about it later. His homework assignment was to watch the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. He's never heard of that, never heard of Eric C. Kahn, but you've never heard of the Fallsburg Haunted House.
Never.
Well, you have now, and you need to go because it is the best in the business. It's known as the home place of ARC, which is addiction recovery care.
Oh, really?
And then they are known for putting a lot of businesses. They put together a lot of businesses, and we got Dina Darryl in the waiting room. We'll bring her on here after this next commercial break. But they are known not only for ARC, but they put a lot of businesses, like they make music equipment and stuff like that. They let recovering addicts, they house them there in recovery houses, at sober living houses, and they give them jobs. So, Louisa and Lawrence County is kind of a second chance county. So
that's a county I'd like to go to.
Love that. Love the work Matt Brown awesome. And the folks at ARC does. Let's see. In 1910, they reached a population high of 20,182. Now they got 16,293. Believe it or not, it was one of the only counties that didn't lose a ton of population over the years.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much held course. Beautiful county. One of the most beautiful counties we got because there's not as much development on it. There's more land. Then the major highway the major high school is Lawrence County. Males income, 30,000. Women's income, 19,000. You got to get that up, folks. Got to get that women's up. Famous people: Tyler Childers, Ricky Skaggs, Paul Patton. Let's see. There's a dozen football players from Lawrence County that played pro football.
Oh, all these played in the pros?
Yep. Oh. So let's bring them up here. You got George McAfee, Wes McAfee, Dick Boykin, Jerry Fields, Danny Pride, Coy Beacon, Ken Fritz, Bill Poe. Let me get these other ones down here. The James Taylor, Jason Harmon, Tyler Wally, and Austin Pleasant. So, they all played. I'm pretty sure it said that all of them are professional football players, but they're also known for coaches too, JJ. They got a lot of big name coaches from Lawrence County. Let's see here. You got Philip Ratliff, Gerald Parker. He's the head coach at Troy. Jason Michaels was the OC coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. Dante Wright is the defense coordinator at Troy. Chandler Shepard is the Orioles pitcher. In the D&D era, the famous athletes are Timmy Dalton, Kinsley Feltner, Jackson Feltner, who is a pro baseball player now, Bryce Blevins, star at Marshall, and then Noah West.
Really?
So, there's just a little bit of facts about them. The restaurants you want to hit if you go to Lawrence County.
Yes, this is my favorite, one of my favorite segments when you talk about the facts about places.
Louisa Stars and Stripes, Down Home Grill, Toro Loco, it's the Mexican restaurant, and Peking. So those are what you want to eat at there. They do got 5 or 6 other ones that they're noted for. A big ice cream shop in the middle of Louisa. I do not know the name of it. They got a good Giovanni's there. So a lot of good eating there in Lawrence County. Make sure you guys go see Lawrence County. But we're going to take a commercial break because we got Dina Darryl in the waiting room, and you don't want to miss this interview coming up next. So come right back and join us here on the Startup Morning Show.
Started right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
D&D Auto Sales. Right now, guaranteed credit approval. No credit, bad credit, good credit, it don't matter. Guaranteed credit approval 100% right now at J&B Auto Sales. Stop by and see them today in DeBoer, Kentucky. Crum Funeral Home in DeBoer, Kentucky is committed and giving the highest quality funeral services for a fair and reasonable price. If you don't want to have to deal with heavy financial obligations during your grieving process, come see us at Crum Funeral Home. Our staff is ready to serve you.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the D&D Sports Network Startup Morning Show. This segment is sponsored by Jim Mars Services. If you're looking for a job in the coal fields, call Jim Mars Services today. They will get you hooked up with a job where you can support your family with good wages. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy, and we got one of my favorite players of all time, Dana Gerald, with us. Dana, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Good. I was shocked, Dana, because I always conversed with you on Facebook, and about 2 months ago I was looking for you to send you a message about a camp we was doing, and I was looking up Dana Gerald, and I could not find it. And then you messaged yesterday. You're married now.
Yes, I am. We got married back in May, so.
So you're becoming a I guess an old lady now, right?
I'm getting there. It depends on the day, honestly. You know how it is.
How's married life treating you?
I love it, actually. I was nervous because my plan all along, you know me, was to play overseas, play professional basketball over there. And I turned down about 3 or 4 offers, and then Carla Booth messaged me a few weeks ago, like back in April, and asked me if I would want to play on this team. And I was just so excited because I didn't think I was going to get that opportunity. So I'm really excited to play with OBB Swish.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about here shortly. But JJ, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Dana. And anybody that I speak to, when they ask me who the best girls basketball player that I've ever covered is, it's easy answer. It's Dana Gerald. Yeah. She was the most skilled player that I've ever covered. She started out, she was the pride of Tulsa, and then she left Tulsa, went to the big city of Huntington, and finished out her career at Huntington St. Joe. Had an amazing career there with Paige Shy in the group. Talk about that transition real quick, Dana. From going from little old Tulsa up to the big city of Huntington.
It was a tough decision for me and my family, but I knew I wanted to play college basketball. I knew I wanted to play against big time players, especially in college. So it was an easy decision just because I felt like that it would prepare me for college more at that type of level, playing against players from New York. We went down to North Carolina. We went on a lot of big trips and ended up ranked, like, I think, 8th in the country at some point. So it was really fun. And it made me a better player. My stats, went from, 30 a game and 4 assists to 20 a game, 8 to 10 assists. So I feel like that for a point guard in that, standpoint, it made me a better player, and it prepared me for the next level. And that was the intention behind it. Because a lot of people, like when I transferred, they were obviously kind of upset about it. Yeah. Even some of my own family, moving an hour from home, but they still came and supported me. I think I ended up with like 40 family members at the state championship games at one point. Like, I have pictures and like they're lined up all in the background, and I have such a supportive family. So I was able to, get through that type of transition because it was hard. I didn't know anyone besides Paige, really. And I had to make friends, which is something I wasn't used to, being, from a small town. I grew up with those kids. So, meeting people and going to school with people that I didn't know from all type of different diversities, it also prepared me for college as well, on an education standpoint. I ended up finishing with like 35 college credits by the time I was a senior. So that helped me in college to be able to get my master's once I was like in my 5th year.
Yeah, Dana was actually the person. Now we do Huntington St. Joe exclusively, so we do all of Huntington St. Joe boys games, but Dana's the one that brought us up there. You got to be proud of what Coach Huff is doing with the women's team up there right now.
Yeah. I don't know her all that well, but I really like what she's doing. It seems like they've turned a lot of things around, especially like just getting the girls like more gear. They've updated the gym. Her and Todd. I know Todd really well, so on the men's side, and he's helped that program out a lot because, obviously everybody was about Huntington Prep, on the men's side, Huntington Prep. So he's done a great job with like enhancing that boys program as well. And I think that was something that the school really needed, as well as the football program.
Yeah, well, Coach Huff, one thing I can tell you, Dana, is when you meet her follow her on social media and see how positive she is. She is an amazing ambassador for women's basketball. But you talked about the jump going from Tulsa to the big city. Tulsa just unfortunately lost one of their other biggest stars, Parker Watts, to Martin County. He's going to have to do the same thing you did, which is go from scoring 50 a game, which he done 4 times last year, to maybe scoring 20 a game, and bringing on a lot more hardware. You've done it. If you had one piece of advice to tell Parker Watts, what would it be?
I would just stay the course. I mean, there's going to be hard times. There's going to be good times, school-wise as well, not even just on the court. I know, like, kids, when they transfer, they go for the sport most of the time if they do play. But I think in the classroom, it's best to keep your grades up no matter where you're at in school. Don't rely solely on your athletic scholarship. I think for me, like I knew I needed good grades to get into UT Chattanooga. Just in general, like with my ACT score and stuff like that, because it was a bigger school. And I think thinking that far ahead when you are young at that age is something that you need, like a mentor maybe, or somebody to kind of guide you in that type of sense, because when you're young like that, you don't think about those things. You think about, okay, what are my stats going to be next game? Oh, I got to go to the gym and shoot for this next game. It's good to do those things, but it's also to make sure that you keep good grades and everything. And that's one of the biggest things that I feel like that I was able to do, but I probably wouldn't have done it if my mom had been a teacher, if I'm being honest. She was on my hind end all the time, but I really give a lot of that credit to her with my grade wise. And Martin County is a big school. There's a lot of kids there, and obviously a lot of teachers. So I feel like he'll get a lot of help in that sense. And just staying humble, you might be the best player in Martin County at Tulsa. You might be the best county at Tug Valley, wherever you're at, but you're not the best player in the world. You never will be. Nobody will be. And you have to work to act like you want to be the best player in the world. So continue to work and get better, and not just being satisfied with where you're at in little small town, Tulsa. That's what my big goal was to say, I want to outwork everybody in the country today, not everybody in my small town, because that's not enough.
You went from Tennessee Chattanooga to Youngstown State to become a Penguin. You had you joined a really good group of West Virginia girls that went there. Y'all played each other. Y'all was the top players in the state. Talk about how that all come about and how y'all ended up at Youngstown State and who the players were.
Yeah, I mean, it was not planned, actually. It was very sudden. My coach, so she left the end of my junior year, and I knew I had 2 years of eligibility left. And the big thing for me transferring was mostly academics. I loved UTC. I loved the campus. Like, I loved the team. I loved the girls. And I'd already stayed through a coaching change back in high school when I'd committed before. Jim Foster was the head coach at Chattanooga. And I'd stayed, and the big reason that I left was other schools were telling me I could get my bachelor's and my master's degree in 2 years, which if I would stayed at Chattanooga, I would only got my bachelor's. So that was a big reason I left, was academics. Like I said, keeping that on the up, because you never know what might happen. You might not end up going and playing professionally, which is what I ended up not doing. It wasn't planned. But I was in the transfer portal, and I think I walked from McKenzie Arena, and I walked about half a mile, and Coach Barnes from Youngstown State called me within 5 minutes of being in the transfer portal. And he asked me what my plans were, and I told him what I was looking for. And he said he felt like they were the right fit, because I wanted to go into a team that was they were in the rebuilding stage, because I wanted to win my last 2 years. I didn't want to have to help rebuild a team. I wanted to be winning already and kind of just bring that team more to life. And I felt like I was able to do that. But and then I'd say a week later, Paige called me. Next thing I know, I'm on a 4-way, 5-way FaceTime call with the rest of the West Virginia girls, and they were in the transfer portal. And we played AAU together. We grew up together, especially Emily. I've known her since like second grade. Paige, 5th grade, I think. Maybe we played middle school against each
Mhm.
other. And next thing I know, I commit. Shaylee Kirby from Parkersburg commits. Then Emily commits, and then it was all happy faces from there.
Yeah.
We had some good times. I couldn't thank them more than anything because they were all my bridesmaids at my wedding, and like it was just great. Like they literally, I knew I had people there at my wedding and supporting me. Some of their parents came to my wedding, so it was great.
Well, Dana, you opened up a huge pipeline for Youngstown State, and I bought my first Youngstown State shirt because of you. And but you opened up a huge pipeline to West Virginia, and now another Wayne County girl, Brooke Atkins, committed to Wayne County, and she has a big year. How neat would it be to see both the twins playing at Youngstown State? But you got to be proud of Brooke going up to Youngstown and getting that pipeline into Wayne County.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know Brooke all that well, but it was funny because my cousin played football for Wayne, and I came home for like a weekend, like literally a day from Youngstown, like last year. And I walk up in the stands, and first off, I have a Wayne shirt on, so everybody is like screaming at me. They're like, "What are you doing?" Like, Wade from the girls basketball team like came up and was like, "So what are you doing with this shirt on?" Like my dad graduated from Wayne, so I just pulled one out of his closet. But they were all, Tulsa Wayne like butt heads like this, so they were all giving me crap about it. But anyway, I came walking up the steps and I seen Brooke sitting there, and I went down and talked to her at halftime about it, her and her mom. And kind of gave them kind of the feeling about Youngstown, because I wanted them to kind of get this side of it that I seen as a player's perspective, because I tend to think that kids during the recruiting process, they get told the good things and not always like, the downside of things or the bad side of things, which is something as a parent, and you're sending your child away that you would want to see. So I literally gave them a whole spiel of pros and cons. There's not really many cons actually at Youngstown State. I will be honest. It gets a bad rep for the city, but it's actually beautiful there. It's a great city. They've really upped the city. But I gave her the lowdown. And next thing I know, a few months later, after we finished season, she committed. And I wasn't surprised really, because I think she'll fit in great there with the conference as well. It's fast paced, and that's something that she plays at.
Well, you tell that coaching staff, make sure that they make Brooke happy, because there's another girl, JC Salmon's, coming up that they're going to want to recruit in the future.
Yeah, so Jacelyn's mom was my first grade teacher, so I know them really well as well. Shayna Gore is an assistant now at Youngstown State.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
So they got their connection. They're going to be recruiting hard from the mountains, that's for sure.
Well, and on the men's side, I mean, you got the Faulkners there now from U-Pike and from Elliott County. So, I mean, the mountains have took over Youngstown State.
Yeah.
So, Dana, we obviously are bringing you here because the newest women's pro team, the OPB Swish, the first ever in the state of Kentucky, you are one of the starting guards on the team, and we're very stoked to be covering that. But JJ here, my counterpart, he's sitting over here itching to get you some questions before I take them all. So go ahead, JJ.
Yeah, and Dina, it's really nice to meet you. And I'm sorry that I wasn't familiar with your game, but I've had a chance to see some of your highlights. I've looked at your stats, and one thing that I'm noticing is you're durable, you're very efficient, you do a great job of getting your teammates involved. Who are some of the notable guards that you grew up watching?
For me, like I studied Steve Nash, specifically my offensive game. I kind of built my style around him. Just how he plays and how efficient he is, and his energy with his teammates, as well on the court. He was always the guy that gave everybody high fives and everything. And that was something I did not do when I first got to college specifically. And I went back and would watch his clips, and I realized he did that a lot. So I kind of enhanced that, and it kind of made me into a leadership role as well. So I liked watching him, and Sue Bird, I liked watching her as well.
Yeah, two really good picks. You had a really good high school career. You had a great college career as well. How has the transition from college to the pros been for you so far?
I would say my path has been a lot different. Obviously, I went through the recruiting process of maybe going overseas and stuff. So that was different than how your college recruiting process goes. I will say that's a lot different. Specifically, like getting an agent and everything. And then, but obviously, when I dropped off of that, you know, just the girls, the games played a lot different in college. Like you're playing on high school courts, so I realized like the 3-point line is a lot closer than what it is that first few games. I was like overshooting like a couple of times, and I had to like scoot back because I'm used to like the 3-point line. They moved our college 3-point line back like 3.5 feet, and I couldn't figure out why I was missing there like the first like quarter of the game. And it was funny because my mom and my husband know me better than me, and my mom was an assistant coach on the team, and she was like, well, you do realize you're shooting like 4 feet closer than what you have been in the past 5 years. So I scooted back, and it went well.
Yeah.
But I enjoy playing. I've known Carla for years, so I enjoy playing with her and meeting the other girls as well. I didn't really know anyone. I knew Michaela Epps. I knew her obviously from Kentucky. She was playing at Kentucky when I was kind of transitioning into college. So I kind of knew her a little bit, but it was great meeting everyone. I'd always wanted to meet Michaela. So.
Yeah, well, Michaela, she was one that, if you're a basketball fan, especially in your era, she was the star at Kentucky, and she was just so infectious with her attitude. It's gotta be really fun for you to be able to play next to her and, have Carla, who you growed up with and knew about. So, you gotta, that's kind of a dream scenario with Carla on one side and Michaela on the other, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I was a little girl playing at Knott County Sportsplex, I think I may have been like 3rd or 4th grade, maybe 5th, and Carla was there doing a camp on one of the other courts, and all my teammates were like, it's Carla Booth, and I grew up knowing her name, but I actually didn't get to meet her until I got to college, so it's kind of crazy.
Oh, well, Dina, as you're sitting here, OPB Swish, as I mentioned, that a lot of new rules, and as you just mentioned, I'm glad you said that because I never put that together. But you modeled your game after Steve Nash quite well, because if there was one player I would say that your game reminded me of, it would have been Steve Nash. So you done a great job modeling after him, but. Being able to take that to the OPB Swish, where you got some new rules in the WABA, where, you get a steal in the backcourt, go down, score, you get an extra point for a layup. A layup's worth 3, 3-pointers worth 4. How is it getting used to the new rule change?
Well, I like the 3-pointer rule. You know that I like to shoot my threes. So, but I actually didn't know about the backcourt rule, so that was news to me. But I'm big on pressing and putting pressure up. I wasn't so much at Chattanooga, but when I transferred to Youngstown State, I kind of got that feel back from high school with the style of play that our coach implemented. And I became a better defender at Youngstown State than what I was at Chattanooga. And I think that I'll enjoy it really well. And mostly in college, I actually guard 4s, 3 and 4s, bigger guards. So, I feel like a lot of the girls, they're going to be bigger than me. So I kind of would fit in well as far as with this league is how that would go. Cause I'm kind of on the smaller side. I'm short, probably weigh 130 pounds soaking wet. So it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. But I'm a distributor. I feel like now even more than a scorer. I mean, obviously I could score, but I've more adapted, especially at Youngstown State, playing with such great shooters, and we have such great shooters on OPB Swish that I feel like I'll be able to get to the paint, get some open looks to the other girls, and they all have great hands. Michaela runs the floor really well. Yeah. She does a great job of being ready for the ball and everything. In practice, we were doing a lot of transition, running the floor, and I thrown it ahead to her. She was ready for it. She was finishing, so it was great.
You got Kennedy Stacy, Victoria Dunlap, former Seattle Storm, Kennedy Stacy, Deja Thornton, who won national titles with Transy. Yeah. You got you got the Rochelle, I can't remember her last name. Then you got the young lady Amani Washington, who plays overseas, just joined your team. I really look forward to that. So you didn't know about that rule till just then?
No.
Yeah, if you get a steal in the backcourt, there will be a red light pop on over at the scorer's table. And when you come down, you've got to score in that possession before the next dead ball. You've got to score. If you score a layup, it'll be worth 3. But if you score a 3-pointer, it's worth 4. But you got to get a steal in the backcourt to get that light switched on.
I like it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It takes some getting used to, but they've been over 190 players from the WABA that's went on to play in the WNBA or overseas. Talk about that. If you got the opportunity from this league to go play, would you take advantage of it?
Maybe not overseas, but if we were able to play here in the US, for sure. Obviously, like I said, I got married in May. And I really want to settle down and kind of share my game with everyone else. I feel like that I'm sometimes better of a trainer and a coach than I am a player. I know that sounds crazy, but I just feel like that that's something that I'm meant to do, and I feel like I'm ready to do it. And I've dealt with a lot of injuries over the years, so sometimes it's a little painful to play. We're getting older, so but I really owe it. Like my husband, he waited 2 years for me to finish up at Youngstown State while he was down in Tennessee.
Yeah.
It was 10-12 hours most of the time, and he was a trooper, and I feel like I owe it to him too as well, to be such a great man, to wait on me that long, that I come home for a little bit at least, and kind of, I feel like I'm ready to live that normal life. I've been playing since I was 4 years old. I traveled to Disney World in like 2nd grade, playing year round, 2nd grade on. Like I was playing basketball. It's been about 20 some years. So I feel like I'm ready to kind of stay home and stay in one place too for a while.
Well, selfishly, I'm tickled to death that you're playing for the OPB Swish, and I'm getting to cover you, all your home games exclusively. And you travel down to Atlanta this weekend to play. Are you traveling with them this weekend?
Yeah.
So
it's actually close for me now because I'm in West Tennessee living with my husband. So
okay.
I'm like 4 or 5 hours from Atlanta, I think.
Do you ever plan on coming back to the mountains and living, or are y'all going to stay down south?
I've been asked it several times. I've been offered a couple of high school coaching positions and teaching jobs, but as of right now, I'm going to stay here. I'm actually in the works of in the next 5 to 6 years putting up a building, basketball, like kind of. I think I want to do at least one gym under roof, one outdoor court, and kind of get my training going here. But in the fall, I'll be teaching special ed math at the high school here in Hardin County in Tennessee, near Pickwick Lake. And then I'll be an assistant high school girls basketball coach here. So I've kind of made myself presented here in the community, and I'm kind of excited because it's a small town. It's people like how we are where we're from. They got that Southern hospitality. I fit in real well, actually. Reminds me of home a little bit, honestly. And I think it'll be great. But, I never know. Maybe a few years down the road, if my parents don't come down here first.
Yeah. Well, my dream scenario for Dina Darryl is one day to see Dina Darryl coaching the Marshall Thundering Herd. I would love to see that back in the city of Huntington, where it all belongs. So hopefully your coaching career goes well so we can get you up here sooner than later. But Dina, as we're sitting here, I know we're running late on time here, so I got a couple more questions. Next time we have you on, now I've not seen you do it in a while, but when you first went down Tennessee, Chattanooga, you was quite the dancer on social media.
Not anymore.
Did you cut a rug at your wedding?
A little bit, maybe. My husband's family, they're big dancers, so we had a good time.
Okay.
And obviously, my entire Youngstown State basketball team was there, so we had some fun. I actually got the wedding video out, so you might see it on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be looking for that. But Dana, you will be here on July 20th as your first home game, played at Martin County High School. So everyone that's wanting to watch Dana again, come pack that gymnasium. And Dana, while you're there, the younger girls, they can talk to you, get autographs and all that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I know I have a lot of people coming on my family side already. So I think it'll be a great atmosphere. Kind of like, back at Tulsa in those days when the gym was packed, nobody could stand up. I'm pretty excited for that. Obviously, Carla has a lot of connections in the area as well, people that she knows. And so do the other girls. Courtney Gilman's from Tulsa. She'll be there. She was actually on scout team when I was a freshman at Tulsa. So me and hers butt head for an entire year there at one point at Tulsa. So it was great to see her get a spot on the team, and she's been doing great.
Yeah, she's the one that I didn't know much of because obviously I started D&D, or we started D&D right when kind of time you started your high school career. So I didn't know much about her game, but I look forward to watching her too. But if you could talk to the fans right now and tell them why they should come out and support the OPB Swish on July 20th, what would you say to them about getting behind you guys?
I mean, I would say, it's a small town, a small community in the entire, Kentucky, West Virginia line. I feel like people beg all the time for something like this to come into play. They want the economy to boost. They want things to happen. They want things they can go to, things to do. Here you go. Here's something to do. Women's basketball is on the rise. And I feel like that this is the opportunity for people to support their community, support their players that they have watched in the past as well. And it's also, we are people that your kids can look up to. I mean, we went all the way through college. We got our degrees, and we're continuing to, kind of up our plays and still continue to chase our dreams, even though, some of us are at an older age. And I feel like that's something that young kids can look up to. And we're young, respectable, women who also that we're good role models for the kids. And when they meet us, we show them nothing but love. Me and Carla, we work with kids all the time at camps, and they're able to come to our camps as well. We can even have a personal relationship with some of these young kids. And I think it's something, especially for the community, that people have been asking for. And here it is. And I just hope they come out and support us.
JJ, real quickly, you got any last question? Or
I actually have two questions for you. Who is your all-time starting five? It can be women's or men's.
Women's or men's?
Yeah, take your pick.
Well, I was raised on those old NBA tapes, so my answers might not be very for the younger kids. They might not agree with me, but I would say Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Nash, because I like Nash a lot, and I've been watching AJ Wilson in the WNBA for a while right now. I would honestly throw her in there. She is killing it. And she came alive this year. She hadn't, her stats weren't that specifically stand out in the past few years, but they are now. And she's just an all around, natural, nose for the ball and player. So I would say them.
Oh, that's a good lineup. And I got one last one. Who is your dream one-on-one matchup?
Oh, gosh. Well, I met Jerry West before.
Rest in
oh, my
peace.
gosh. I would say Nash. I would like to play him. I really would.
Okay. Dana, I know we kept you a little longer than what I originally planned, but anytime I get to talk to you, I like to catch up. I cannot wait to see you on July 20th and get to watch you again. I look forward to it, and we'll have you on throughout the season and kind of catch up with how you guys are doing with the OPB Swish. But it was good catching up with you, and I want to thank you for joining us this morning.
No, I'm excited. Thank you for having me. It was great talking to you.
Okay, we miss you here, Dana. We'll see you July 20th at Martin County.
All right, sounds great. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick commercial break. Be right back on the D&D Sports Network Startup Morning Show.
Started right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
Walters Kia. By now, you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Drug today and let them fill your prescription. Eric Holman Drug has been serving the Chapmanville community for over 46 years. They're a proud supporter of the Chapmanville Tigers and all mountain athletes. And we are back here on the D&D Sports Network Startup Morning Show. Guys, as if you joined us earlier in the show, we was talking about JJ producing. I forgot to switch spots with him there. So, JJ, you just have to watch, okay?
I'll be ready on Monday.
This segment is brought to you courtesy of Justin Markham Law Office, located in Williamson, West Virginia. Guys, I want to thank everybody for still sticking around. We still got a lot to cover in this last segment here. Remember, guys, on July 20th, OPB Swish, Martin County High School will be there. Got a lot of comments coming in. Said, not the Billy Ray story. She's talking about Billy Ray Cyrus. Connor Morganson still tuning in. Bradley Dameron says that he's tuning in, and he said, I remember Eric C. Kahn billboard in Pikeville with a dummy dressed up as Eric C. Kahn sitting on the top of it. They was all over the state, Bradley. They had them all over the state. It looked like a real Eric C. Kahn sitting on top of the billboard. Yeah, they was awesome. Brianna says JJ has never heard of Eric C. Kahn, Bradley. And said Brianna says the down home or the Hauntopia Grill or the Hauntopia Haunted House over at Blackberry is one of the best haunted houses that she's been to. And then I mentioned the one at the O'Day RH Hospital they have. So we got a lot of good haunted houses.
Didn't there used to be one like near Belfry High School or like near
across in the fire department? There used to be one.
Yeah, I could think of them.
Yeah, they used to have them over there. Yeah. He says Down Home Grill is fantastic. And she said she cannot wait. Said JJ's never heard of Eric C. Kahn. He also never watched The Wild and Wonderful Whites until Darryl has made him on his homework project. So can't wait to get his thoughts on The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. And she said she would actually be surprised, wouldn't be surprised if you've never found out you've never ate a hot dog.
Oh no, the hot dogs are one of my favorite foods. Like I'm very basic when it comes to food, like chicken tenders, French fries, hot dogs. Like I'm very simple in that sense.
Well, we're going to get to the Wild and Wonderful Whites, but real quick, speaking of hot dogs, did you see where Joey Chestnut is not allowed in the Nathan's hot dog?
What do you do?
He
went to many competitions, or
no? I think it was something. He said something about a vegan. I think it was like a vegan food or something like that. And Nathan's put it. Now, you tell me that's not the dumbest move ever by Nathan's. I'll never buy a Nathan's hot dog again because Joey Chestnut is the only reason people watch that. You know, they used to have Kobayashi or whatever his name was.
Didn't he retire?
Yeah, he retired. But Joey Chestnut, that's why everybody every single year on 4th of July even watches the hot dog eating contest because of Joey Chestnut. He is the hot dog eating contest. You just destroyed your own sport.
So you're telling me that because he said something about a vegan,
I think it was something like that. Somebody can correct me. Bradley, I'm sure Bradley will put it in here. Yeah. Said he signed an endorsement with a vegan hot dog. That's what it was. So he signed an endorsement with a vegan hot dog, and Nathan's cut him from the contest.
They should have paid him. I mean,
they destroyed their own sport.
Yeah, that's insane. Wow, that how do you do that? I mean, I don't.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen from any. Listen, Nathan's hot dog. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard any business do. Why get rid of Joey Chestnut? You just doomed your sport.
It's not just the face; it's the only person.
There is none. It's done. The hot dog eating contest is finished now, JJ.
Yeah, I mean that's awful.
Yeah, it's destroyed.
Yeah.
Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. First thoughts on Jesco White and his family.
One of the craziest documentaries I've ever seen. I mean, I was blown away. I try to find a few positive things from it. Like one of the positive things that I saw was the older woman, how she adopted so many children that didn't have any homes to go to and that lost a lot of family members. But apart from that, I was blown away with how much information they give in this documentary. Like they committed a lot of crimes and they
filmed it.
They didn't care.
No, they filmed it.
They had no shame at all. And then you had the one guy that attempted to blow that dude's head off and blew half of his face off.
Yeah. And well, what about the lady that went to get her kids back from CPS and was snorting pills in the parking lot?
Yeah, I mean, like what are you doing? I mean, I was blown away with how much stuff that they did.
Yeah,
and it kind of reminded me of this. I don't know if anybody's ever watched the Ozarks.
Yeah,
the Langmore family. The family that's supposed to be cursed.
Yeah, it's a lot like it. And, Mimi White, she still hangs out and, she's still around Williamson. So,
is she really?
Yeah, you'll see her all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's always around here. But that was the interesting thing. Jesco White, he was so talented to come from where he come from.
Yeah.
Jesco White ended up taking, and that's how the attention got to his family through this is because the fame that he had done through tap dancing.
Uh-huh.
So
his footwork was impeccable.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
His footwork was impeccable.
Yeah, but as you sit here and look, I don't know. Like I like the Whites. I've met them, great people, but that stuff don't stand out to me because, that's on one side of my family's like that, and I guarantee you that just about 90% of the people watching has family like the Whites. Absolutely. I mean, that's mountain living.
Yeah. Google like West Virginia and a picture would have pop up to describe like the people, you probably would see them.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's that's 100% true. And then, when I don't know, I just I recommend everybody watch that. Now, Bradley Dameron on here says, "Have you at least seen Mate One?"
I need to watch it.
You're from Mate One, and you've never watched the movie Mate One.
I've never seen it before.
JJ, you're a scab.
I gotta watch it.
You're a scab.
I gotta get it together.
Yeah,
I gotta do better.
Yeah, you're gonna learn what a scab is when you watch it.
I heard about it when I was a kid, but I just didn't have a desire to watch it. But now that I found out it was nominated for an Oscar and it was actually a good quality movie, I definitely want to check it out.
Well, Bradley says he once pulled up at a Taco Bell in Charleston and Sue Bob was working the window.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ask for an autograph?
Wow. The said the kid hopped up on Mountain Dew was wild. Yeah. I love all these all this stuff putting together. And Bradley don't know it yet, but I'm going on vacation when I leave here, JJ. Well, first I'm going to Williamson. My son's got a basketball training with Coach Matthew Perry.
Uh-huh.
And so I got to go over there real quick. And then we're headed off to Tennessee for 6 days. Mm-hmm. So I'll be back on Thursday. Now, I'm going to be on the show via FaceTime, Facebook. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to task Bradley with joining in on us and helping you with the topics. That way that we it's not so much on you learning the show and the production and doing everything all at once.
Hey, I've been thrown in the deep waters.
So so we may ask Bradley a couple days next week to join us.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So and Bradley already once a week had to join us anyway. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that'd be really nice.
Yeah, be a great fit for Bradley.
I got to sell. I got to advertise.
You got to do a little bit of everything, JJ. You're a trick of all trades.
Yeah, Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Well,
There you
They
go.
don't-
Swiss Army knife of D&D.
Whatever they call them now. I don't.
Now, JJ, real quick, we talked about Caitlin Clark in the WNBA votes earlier.
Mhm.
Said 700,000 votes is what she got last year. The leading vote getter was who Dina just mentioned, AJ Wilson,
Mhm.
95,000. So over 600,000 more people voted
That's
for the leader. Yeah, for the leader this year.
That's
600,000.
What? It's almost 8 times more people.
Yeah,
That is insane.
that's insane.
That just goes to show you, the effect.
Caitlin Clark has really grew the sport. But
Absolutely.
guys, make sure you send your pot hose in. We had the pot hoe of the day. We're bringing awareness to it. Guys, make sure if you're in the Fountain Place Plaza, watch out for this fella right here because he will get you. That's the pot hoe in front of the family or the Dollar Tree there at the Fountain Place Plaza in Logan. Reach out to some of the owners there. Make sure we get this baby fixed because it's affecting way too many mountain families and destroying their vehicles, JJ.
Yeah, I'm in rough shape.
Yeah. So, guys, Startup Morning Show, JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy. We want to wish you guys a good day and a great weekend. Hope everybody enjoys your weekend. A lot of y'all are on 5-day weekends, 4-day weekends from, or 3-day weekends from the 4th of July. So make sure you continue to enjoy that. Most people's on vacation as it's co-miners vacation. So enjoy that. And myself and JJ will see y'all Monday morning, bright and early at 8 p.m. Hope everybody joins in and tunes in, meets us there. But again, guys, we hope you enjoy the show. This is another episode of the D&D Sports Network Startup Morning Show. Good day.